Please rise. Court is now in session.
Love, strength, Fighting for Justice is the podcast. Fighting spell with a PA. Serving Philly in the counties, in the tri-states. Speak to change people's minds, yeah, we don't see hate. If you ever want to question law, yeah, let's debate.
Episode 4.
What are we going to call this one?
We're back. Call this Take 7 with
this
a special
is going to be
guest.
called Welcome to the Podcast, Josh. That's what this is going to be called.
We won't call this one Moving the Line. Or Liquid Death.
Yeah, introduce yourself, man. Nobody knows.
Yeah, nobody knows you.
So my name's Josh Tebay. I passed the bar in 2006. Oh yeah, sorry. I keep forgetting to look at the camera there.
He's a newbie, guys.
Yeah, this is my. I'm not a podcast veteran per se. So passed the bar in 2006. Worked in Baltimore City for a year after that for clerking for their firearms enforcement unit. Then I went to Bucks County District Attorney's Office where I was a prosecutor for 5 years. Then moved to a firm in Philadelphia that does plaintiffs' personal injury work, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, kind of cases like that. And then from there, I went to a small office in Westchester where the three of us were lucky enough to meet. And now I'm sitting here. So the last 10 years or so I've been almost doing exclusively personal injury, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse cases, things like that. So
actually, let's kind of talk a little bit about that so people can understand a little bit about the value that we saw while you're here working with us. Can you talk about how much experience you have, how much, settlements, some of the numbers that you've seen that you personally have worked on, some of the bigger cases that you settled? Tell our clients why they should be calling you when these things happen. Yeah,
so I guess over the course of my career, I guess dating back to maybe 2010 or so. So I guess last what is that? For 12 years. No, let's say 2012. I'm probably close to over maybe 10 million in verdicts, settlements, etc. for clients, and most of it's been on auto accident cases, but there's been a lot of also nursing home abuse and elder abuse type cases. Those cases typically tend to have a lot of value because you're dealing with elderly in nursing homes that are severely abused, severely neglected. And man, juries hate that stuff. They hate hearing about people that got left in the corner of a nursing home and had bed sores or had, malnutrition, severely dehydrated, severely malnourished. So the insurance companies, they try to settle those cases. They don't want them in front of a jury, but sometimes they just can't, they can't stop it. Right. And the train rolls through and they get crushed. And, you feel terrible for these families, these people that entrusted their loved ones to these homes, especially the for-profit homes that are raking in billions of dollars over the country, and they can't afford to pay enough staff to actually make sure these people are fed properly. It's really sad.
Hold on. One thing. Break down personal injury when you say it, right? So what do you... a lot of people think car accident. So you mentioned nursing home,
personal injury,
giant umbrella.
Right. So personal injury covers a lot of people refer to it as, you're kind of like a jack of all trades because personal injury covers a ton of different kind of cases. But some people that just do medical malpractice or just do nursing home cases, they don't refer to themselves as they don't want to be called a personal injury lawyer. They want to be called a medical malpractice attorney because they think there's something derogatory about being a personal injury lawyer, which I've never seen. I don't understand that take quite honestly. But so you've got, if you want to put medical malpractice, professional negligence, physician errors, things like that in its own category, that's fine. But then you've also got situations involving, like we've talked about, like nursing homes. But then you've also got situations that people think about when they think about personal injury. So car accidents. You hear slip and falls, dog bites. I hesitate to put workers' comp in that umbrella just because that's a little bit of a different matrix involved. But those are the big ones that stand out to me that I think we get the most frequent calls and inquiries about, like, auto accidents, slip and falls, dog bites.
With that cough again.
Yeah.
Tom, I actually have one question based off what you were saying before. Can you give our listeners like one thing that they should be looking out for if they are, or a couple things they should be looking out for if they're thinking about putting their loved one into a elderly home, or if they have somebody there? What are the like signs that you see as an attorney that they should be looking out for?
Oh, the most important thing I would tell people is you got to check out the home when you're there, and you got to talk to staff, right? Don't just talk to their designated person that meets with all the families and sells them the line of bullshit. You got to actually that just wants them to sign up and get the money. Don't talk to like the I forget, they used to be called like they're not social workers, but they're like administrative professionals. Like their goal is just to get you in the home. Yeah. Right. What you want to do is talk to the people that are actually providing the hands-on care, and you want to talk to them about, point blank, like, do you like working here? Do you feel as though you're staffed? Do you feel as though there's enough people to handle all the call bells that are constantly going off? Is there enough people to handle the food? Is there enough people to handle the bathing needs and the toileting needs of these people? And a lot of times, they're going to give you straight answers because they're not really getting paid a whole hell of a lot to begin with. Sure. And if you get any hesitation from those people at all, or you get something that seems like a canned answer to you, like, oh yeah, it's great, I love it, with a little wink, I would think long and hard about putting a loved one in a situation like that. But you got to talk to staff. And the other thing you want to do that I always tell people to recommend to do is go in on the weekends. Like, go in and see what the staffing levels are like on the weekends. Because a lot of times these homes, they cut staff way back on the weekends because guess what? You got to pay people more to work the weekends, and they don't want to do that. They want to make sure that they have the absolute minimum amount of staff they can have there, so people aren't just dropping dead all over the place. So a lot of times you find the most serious neglect happens on Saturday, Sunday shifts, things like that, where people
aren't trying to be at work.
Yeah, but people want to work. The place won't pay them to be there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
I'm not talking about the staff. I'm talking about the
company
corporate
itself.
won't pay for these people to actually work those hours.
Sure.
Damn.
Right.
Yeah. Putting the business needs over like humanity. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of
I can see that happening all the time.
The firm that I learned how to do all these nursing home cases with, the firm that laid the blueprint, they were called Wilkes and McHugh. They've split up now, but they were all the way. They were across the country. I mean, they had offices in every state that had a nursing home that didn't have tort reform, right? So they didn't practice in states that didn't have punitive damages, and they didn't practice in states that had caps on damages because these cases are so expensive to prosecute.
Right.
They're not going to put all that money in, but they had a blueprint for like how you build up these cases, and what they would do is they would get into the financials hardcore. Like they want to see the bottom line. Like, how much are these homes making a year? How much are they billing Medicare and Medicaid? How much are they paying their staff? Right. So they could show and they could lay it out to a jury. Like, look, this is how much the fucking CEO is making. This is how much the administrator's making. This is how much the corporate middlemen that oversee regions, the regional managers are making. And here's your mom, sitting here in diapers that haven't been changed.
Right. Yep.
And oh man, like they make people furious.
Right.
Like just
open up the checkbook, dog.
Right?
Yeah. Open up the checkbook because we
honestly,
coming for it.
These people, these guys were pioneers. I mean, they were the first ones to really in the country to really go after it. Like, we're going to focus on care and lack thereof, but we're going to slam these people on how much the homes are making, like Genesis, Manor Care, like the big ones that are just raking it in across the country, and the CEOs are, again, buy their own private islands in the Caribbean.
Sure.
But we're not going to pay
for staff
for
on a
staffing,
Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not going to pay for that. We're gonna get by at the absolute minimum levels that we can to make sure that
It's actually very smart.
Yeah, that's
Very
kind of
smart.
and you know what?
Follow the money.
That's why Jim Wilkes and Tim
Yeah.
McHugh had their own fucking private jets and would fly back and forth across the country to try cases and oversee but like, man, like I have so much respect for those guys. Like,
right.
Of course.
The way that they sort of revolutionized it, nursing home work, and that's all they did. That's all they did.
Right.
Nursing home cases.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And you get
Smart.
people all the time calling them. Like, hey, I want you guys to take this. Like people would just be referring them cases.
Sure.
They're the
Right,
specialists, right?
Of course.
I mean, that's why I kind of wanted to switch from like doing criminal defense into doing like
Fighting
civil
for people.
litigation. I'm like, I feel Benjamin Crump. I just watched that documentary.
Yeah.
It was the same exact thing. I'm like, man, here I am sitting beating my head over the brick, like trying to fight the good fight, once, twice, and then sure, you could hit a couple.
Yeah, you get some wins.
Some money.
Yeah.
And like as you get good at it, you guys have seen it, pulled on some good cases, but it's like sometimes I'm starting to feel like, man, I'm squeezing the wrong people though. Cause it's
Absolutely.
like when someone goes wrong on the criminal side, I have to squeeze the family for money I know they don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel bad, but I'm like, look, guys, I kind of also need to like, make my money. I need to eat.
You need to be
and
paid.
you want me to be going to this courtroom and dominate. Whereas if I just like go on the other side, I'm like, how about we just look for racism?
Yeah.
Something I know is going to happen.
Yep.
Something that I know is going to go wrong. And when it goes wrong, we point it out. And we go to the government and be like, you fucked up, right? Like, open up your checkbook.
The transition from me being a prosecutor to me going and working for this firm was actually real. I mean, learning civil. Civil and criminal are like almost different languages.
Yeah,
Sure.
they
Like,
are.
and it's like I might as well have worked at a gas station before going there. But like that's how much you have to
Yeah.
learn.
Yeah.
But when you acting as you basically when I took that role, you become a prosecutor. who makes money.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that's really what you're doing. You're prosecuting these nursing homes.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
you're prosecuting the corporate like villains that are like running these places.
Right.
Right?
That's much more appealing.
So
I'll be honest.
So much more.
Oh
appealing than
yeah,
locking
no,
up
it's
a
honestly,
person.
well, we're going to fundamentally disagree on that,
Probably true.
right? As far as prosecutor versus defense attorney, but like
Yeah.
what I was doing, the rewards were, I mean, getting. You hear it's so corny, but like getting justice for these families,
Yeah,
for
it
their
actually
for the
means
loved one,
something.
it does. You take it almost like the money's great and but you almost don't even like care. Like you're almost like
Yeah, you're
we
invested
smacked these
personally
people
in the
down,
case.
and we smacked them down so bad
That
But
hopefully
when
they
you
won't
s-
do it again.
right. And when
Right.
you see the homes make improvements,
Yeah, exactly.
and you see them fix the way they do things because our firm made them change it,
Right.
that's great.
Absolutely.
That makes you like actually like, wow, as much as I hate, as much as being a lawyer sucks, it's like, wow, this actually makes me feel like I
you
did
did
something like
something.
worthwhile. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So that, I mean, like that, the last 10 years have been pretty consistent when it involves fighting for those kind of people and in those kind of situations.
Right.
So
Good shit.
yeah, man. They're good. They're good cases. They're hard, and the facts can be like, I don't know, go off on a tangent, but like one that we had recently is where a woman at Brandywine Hall, and we can't. It's still pending, so I don't want to get into like too much into the detail, but like
Yeah.
she was at Brandywine Hall, which is a Genesis facility in Westchester, in Pennsylvania, and it was taken to the emergency room for severe dehydration and some other things, and the attendants at the emergency room actually called the police in because
Damn.
Because of
They
neglect.
knew.
because she had maggots growing
Oh, Jesus
in
Christ.
wounds, like open wounds in her legs.
Oh no.
And that's actually a fact of the case, so I can say that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But like, think about it. Think about if you're a jury, you're sitting on a jury,
That's not going to.
and
a
you
jury.
hear that shit.
Yeah, that's not going to a jury.
Yeah.
They're
How
gonna settle that.
how are you ever
They're
going to
settle
explain that? By the way, like, why would that be in front of a
You're
jury?
going to settle that.
Well,
Hopefully, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully,
the firm that has it right now might not. They may say, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
We're going to go in and we're just going to crush you. We're going to get the biggest verdict we can.
True.
that's
True.
Unless,
there does
You're not
need
wrong.
to
You
be
know,
another side to
Yeah.
the settlement.
like,
You're not wrong.
And I know the guy. That case ended up getting referred to a really close personal friend of mine, and they don't fucking care. Like they'll go in and they'll be like, I don't care. 10 million. I'm not selling for 10 million.
Yeah.
Like we're going in and we're gonna destroy
a better
you
way
guys.
to phrase it is, I don't know what a jury would think when they heard
Right.
it, right?
I don't know
Like,
neither.
But
if I was sitting on the jury, I would just be like, so how long do I have to sit here? I'm not supposed to make up my mind.
yeah.
Okay.
And so
I'm kind of one of those attorneys though, so I definitely peep what you're saying because I'm the type of lawyer to be like, yeah, fuck you.
Well, that's the question. How much?
Yeah.
The question really
I'll
becomes,
always go into the courtroom.
maggots in the wound. How much is that worth? As much as we can get.
Exactly.
yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Exactly.
And you got to think about. I mean,
guys. So let's tell them though. There's going to be many more conversations like
be
this.
right
We're
back.
going to have all kinds of tips, topics, things. Josh ain't going nowhere. This money ain't going nowhere. People are always going to decide to put business needs over people's needs,
Absolutely.
and we will always be there to make sure that we smack the shit out of them when they do. So
corporate greed is not going anywhere.
Exactly.
Anytime,
It'll never go anywhere.
ever.
Let's switch it up though. We can't be here all day.
We was good. That was a good first. That was a good first topic.
No, that was great.
It
That was great.
flowing.
I'm only joking.
It was flowing.
Have you guys been following the Brittney Griner stuff?
A little bit.
A little bit. I'm sure. I mean, listen. If you haven't heard, I guess I'll just tell you.
Just tell us, Dave.
I don't know. Whatever. WNBA star took drugs into Russia, 2 weed pens or something. Right. I mean, I'd be surprised if nobody's heard of it, only because it's been on the news every fucking day for the last week. Because apparently it's an issue that we're supposed to care about. So that's why I'm bringing it up, because I want to see if I'm the only insane one. Here's just my opinion on this, and then I want to see what you guys think. Right. I don't care at all, okay? This shouldn't be on the news. This isn't a news topic. This isn't something I care about, because here's the deal. She took drugs willingly into Russia, okay? It's a foreign country. Now, I see people saying, like, I guess you believe everything Russia says, like, if you think they're actually telling the truth. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't give a shit, okay? They said she had 2 weed cartridges. So here's my thing to the conspiracy theorists. You think they could have made something up that was more severe, right? Like, oh my God, she had 12 pounds of weed. Okay, that sounds a little fake, but and just today she pleaded guilty to it, right? So she told the judge, I didn't intend to break the law, which I find kind of funny, since we do possession cases. You don't need fucking intent, you just have to have it on you, know you have it, okay? So here's the deal. She knew she had it. She's guilty. Part of me caring as much as I do about this, because I don't understand why it's on the fucking news every day. I don't know why people are blaming Biden. Like, they wrote the White House, he's not doing enough, right? Here's my thing. What the fuck is he supposed to do? Like, here's what I'm going to tell everybody who's listening, and then I'll let you guys talk about it. Like, if you want to write the president a letter, write him a letter about our drug policies in America, where you go to fucking jail for it. Like, where's that? I'm going to tell every client I get for drugs from now on to write the president a letter and say that he's not doing enough to get them out of jail. This is the dumbest shit I ever heard. And you can Google it, right? It's Russia. So, I looked this up quickly. There was a woman like 2 years ago. She had 6 grams of weed. She got sentenced to 7 years. Great. That's fun, right? I feel bad for her. And then guess what? There was another woman who had 9 grams, and they fined her $15,000. So it's safe to say they're not consistent. They're probably doing it for political reasons, but I know she didn't get arrested for a political reason. Don't take drugs into Russia, and I won't have to fucking hear about it. And I also keep hearing, if this was LeBron, they wouldn't leave LeBron in. No shit. LeBron would get himself out of jail because he'd pay every guard and he'd fucking leave because he's a billionaire. I don't care. And if LeBron did it, I'd say, well, don't take drugs into Russia. So anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Because it's fucking.
So do you know any? Like, do you know any of the facts of the case?
There's a video of her going through customs, and they go, "Here's the weed."
But like, was she? Does she play professionally in Russia?
No.
Yeah, that's why she was there, though.
She's in WNBA.
I understand, but she was there playing in their league.
Oh, was she?
I believe.
Okay.
But I mean, like, I guess, like, was she just traveling through the country? Or was she like living in Russia?
I think.
Like, do we know?
Well, I don't know. But what does that make a difference? You tell me why that makes a difference.
Well, because
if I have drugs in my pocket and I fly to New York,
hold on. Let him actually.
Well,
answer.
no. If she's like living and has a like a domicile or something in Russia.
Yeah, but what about it?
Well, conceivably she would know, like, she's using all the time. I mean, I would think that there would be some type of knowledge on her part.
Okay,
that
fair enough.
You can't carry this shit around and you can't
Right.
carry it into an airport. which leads to more of a
Let me ask you a general question.
plant. Like
Do you
I don't think it got
you can,
planted.
Do you
but-
think you can take drugs anywhere on a plane?
No, of course not.
Okay, so that
But-
was an easy answer for you,
Right,
and it's not
so,
even
like,
because you're a lawyer, right? It's just something I assume.
I mean, I think they
everybody
like,
knew.
yeah, I think the
But
bottom line.
what because she made a dumb decision,
Right.
You
Yes.
think just fuck her, leave her there is what you're
Well,
saying.
my thing is why is this a president issue? We lock more people up than anybody in the world in the United States.
Because he's the only one right now that actually has any negotiating.
You broke a law, though.
Right.
He is, but the question, I think, here's my question, and I kind of jump back and forth because the defense attorney in me is like screaming like this is just the punishment doesn't fit the crime, and I don't care what country it is. The punishment when
Of
the punishment
course.
doesn't fit the crime,
Concede
it just
that.
feels wrong. So I can always empathize with everybody and anybody.
Of course.
However, that doesn't mean that I can't understand the greater good, because the truth of the matter is that if she wasn't Brittney Griner, if she was just Joe Schmo, maybe she doesn't get, or maybe she does get arrested. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't get arrested, but maybe they're using her as like a bargaining chip, right? So there's a war going on, and maybe they're like, hey, don't come over here. When I'm done smacking the Ukraine, I'll give her back. So, like, now, should the president actually put our lives in danger for Brittney?
No, of course not. But I don't think that's how. I think there's so much shit that
But
happens.
but in order for him to get her back, he's got to give something.
Yeah, he'll throw a couple of people that we have imprisoned here from Russia over back to them,
Which
and then
I'm
they'll-
sure-
which
and
happens
what if-
every fucking day.
But
I
I'll-
agree.
Every
here's my
day.
thing.
And who
Right.
who are we giving back though? Are we giving
You'll never
back
know about it.
Scotland? Are we
You'll
giving
never
back-
know about it.
I-
It'll be some guy.
That's
It'll be.
true.
It'll be.
I won't know.
No,
Here-
it'll
here's
be
a-
some agent that the FBI arrested here, spying for the Russians. That's
Yes.
currently in some.
And are you happy?
Black
that
ops
our
place.
trading
Should we even be
person-
doing that?
Right. Are you happy that our trading debt is a WNBA player who took weed into a country like stupidly, like that, like you, and now, but only because we have other people who aren't on her like celebrity level. How come they don't get to go first? What, like she only skips the line because she's well known. Now I understand that life's not fair, but like.
I'm just so confused because, like, we know.
I don't know.
Here's what we know. If I'm driving down the road right now and I have a pound of weed in my car, they can easily set bail and keep me in jail until my trial is done. Cool. That's how long? How long is that? I don't know. A year? Let's just give it a year because they have to do it within a year, right?
Sure.
Is that fair? No. Is it the law? Of course it is. No one says shit. So we have somebody who plays basketball that, frankly, I never heard of. Sorry. And here's the fucking deal. She's over there and she takes drugs. I don't understand why it's even on the news is what I'm saying. Why is this a
Because
fucking...
it's a
because
United
she's a
States
celebrity.
citizen that's detained in another country.
I'm sure there's fucking... How many... You don't think there's other foreign... You don't think that there's American citizens that are detained in other countries?
Of course there are. We hear about it. We hear
don't.
about Iran detaining
No, I
people.
was gonna
We
say,
hear
I
about
thought-
North
yeah,
Korea
yeah,
detaining
we do
people.
hear about others. I think you hear
I mean,
Brittney
like-
because she is a superstar here though too.
Because she plays a sport,
Right.
So ESPN gets involved,
Exactly.
and then they
There's-
put their shit out too. So it's reported on a dual level
It's
because
a s-
ESPN.
it's-
If this was somebody,
He's right,
if this
he's
was a
right, he's
diplomat
right.
or somebody else, ESPN wouldn't be reporting it.
That's fine, but it's also
Like,
a
no,
complete non-issue.
No, Josh, actually, I 100% agree because the reason why I don't see a lot of like Iran's got this because
Yeah,
I don't
they're athletes.
right. I'm not watching the channels that are talking about it.
I understand, but there's not a single person that actually cares.
You can't say that. I care that
You
she's
don't
there.
care. You don't
I mean, I do.
You don't care.
About it, the thing that drives me crazy is the people coming out and saying, yeah, NASCAR. If Trump was president, he would have had her back here in 48 hours. No, the fuck he would not. She's black and she's a lesbian. Trump does not give two fucks about bringing a black lesbian back into the country. The only way it would even be on his radar is if it was an election year and some staffer came to him and like, hey man, you're even farther down with the blacks than you normally are. If you bring her back, maybe we get we push that up 2%.
Not wrong.
And you still lose all this. I mean, you're still going to lose. you're still going to lose all the urban votes. But maybe you do something and you say, you get on the podium and you're like, and I brought her back from the, he does that thing. But that's the only way. She would still be over there if Trump was president or Biden was president or Reagan was president or whoever the fuck else.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I just don't. It's been
that's a
been
different
2
issue,
months. It's been 2 months. You took weed into a country that we're not friends with.
it's time served.
Yeah, and like,
I mean, I hope so. Like, it would be nice.
She might get 7 years. She might get let go.
Right.
Also, don't take weed in other countries or different states. Don't call me and tell me and act like I'm supposed to care.
Yeah.
I'll say, I'll see you when you get out. I thought you were smart enough not to take drugs.
Possession is one thing.
Right.
Distribution. Usually the countries over there are usually where they really come down is on the distribution, not on just simple possession.
Yeah,
so that's what's weird about this kind of like.
It's because it's Russia, though.
I was about to say, yeah, it makes it feel as though like they're trying to make some kind of statement with her, but then I don't know. Like,
I mean, you can look it up. They sentence other people to many years in jail, right? Now, whether or not that's for political purposes,
yeah,
I
but
don't
there's
know.
a lot of Asian countries, not a lot, but there are Asian countries that I mean, if you get convicted of distribution, it's a life sentence.
Well, that's what I was
You're
saying,
done.
right? So look at it this way:
like
everybody seems to be so upset because here, it's drugs, and it's weird because all people act like drug charges like shouldn't exist, but yet everybody still gets arrested for it. So the disconnect in this country.
wait, here or what are you talking about?
Here, right?
Yeah, I
so
think
what I'm saying,
the one thing that was interesting because I peeped it the first time was that I think your frustration is like, man, before I care about Brittney Griner who took an illegal substance to another country, like there are so many millions of people who have done that in this country,
and
who
I
get it. Yes, maybe that's Brittney and like Biden's like kind of connection. All right, look, because nobody else can really do anything for her but the president. As far as like anybody in this country,
I agree with that. Yeah.
The only person in this country that could do anything for her is the president because we have elected him and gave him that power. But the fact that like the world is putting this as like, hey, look, let's worry about Brittney. Let the president already, whatever he is going to do, cool. Everybody else should probably worry about the people that's the fuck here.
That's what I'm saying.
Like the people that you could actually do stuff for.
I'm so sick of seeing
here.
shit online. Like, oh, it's so sad, dude. It's so sad that 8 feet away from you, there's somebody in jail for the same thing,
right?
And you don't even
there
know
because
you act
millions
like
of Brittney Griners right
here.
here.
I love reading online, like this is just completely unfair. This is too harsh for a drug sentence. Okay, look at some of the states.
I mean, I don't think his point like has no valid to it. Like it has merit to it.
It's just it's ridiculous.
It's more. I think his point is more social commentary than it is
completely valid. My point is always valid.
I mean, whatever.
It's insane
to you,
but you're comparing the penal laws in two completely different countries.
So is everybody else.
One of which is an autocracy.
So is everyone else.
So is our country.
It's an oligarchy, bro.
Whatever.
Okay, so learn your shit when you come on this podcast.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's correct. I don't think you're correct, but
that may not make the cut, guys.
Yeah,
no, that'll be on there because we're gonna place a bet right now because Josh likes a bet. They are an oligarchy. They're run by oligarchs.
Russia.
Yes.
Okay. I disagree. I think you're wrong.
Well,
so we'll figure it out. We'll
tune in next time.
We'll tune in next time.
But anyway,
loser
to the episode.
But here's what I'll say: I'm comparing two laws because everybody else is comparing laws of two different countries, saying it's unfair to her. Of course, I'm doing the same thing, and I'm saying, who gives a fuck?
Okay,
right? Because it's still unfair here, and we care more about somebody who's in a different country, who took drugs to a different country, who said, "I packed too quickly."
Speaking of,
I packed too quickly, and I brought drugs.
Speaking of, I kind of want to skirt into our last topic.
Come on, man. We still got time.
Good segue.
Yeah, great. Why just shut down the conversation? Whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, because you're screaming.
I'm watching. Yeah. I'm watching. I'm not screaming.
I feel bad for you sitting next to him.
I had to segue. You made me lose it. Speaking of things, that we shouldn't care about.
No,
or should we?
So
care?
Let's give them more credence by talking about them. Things that we
things.
So this topic
should
is
we
things
care
we
about
shouldn't.
It.
Okay.
No, like things that we talk about. Should we care about them though? Like
that's
let
the
me
whole
explain
theme of this podcast.
Yeah.
Today.
Right, so there's somebody named Tiera Mack.
What should we care about?
And she
not this
was. What happened was she must have twerked
what
on
happened
the sand,
was,
and she linked it to her account. She's running for Congress.
The state senator.
She's running for state senate
in Rhode Island.
Yeah. But she on
the Democratic ticket, man.
She twerked.
Got to be fair.
On the Democratic ticket, she twerked, and then after the twerk, she's in a bikini on the beach, twerked, then said, vote for me. So my friend sends it to me. He's like, see, man, this is why people aren't going to take us seriously. I want her to win because she's black, but she's acting like this, so now she's not going to win. And my first response was like, why the fuck do I care that she was twerking? Like,
That's still my response.
What's her, like, what is she running? Like, he's like, see, would you vote for her? I'm like, based off this, why would my only response is, why would I care?
Yeah, well, my response would be, based on this video of her twerking, no. But maybe she has other ideas.
Right.
Who gives a shit?
Hey, if it gets her if it gets her votes, if it gets her elected,
Yeah, like,
hey,
it's not even
her campaign manager is shooting way up the corporate ladder at that point.
like,
Coming up with that idea. I wonder if she came up with that idea or if somebody else did and said, "Hey, let's get your ass in a bikini,
Right,
get you out on the
I don't
beach."
think people sometimes like make mistakes where like, okay, hey, this may sound good or like think good in the moment, and then you put it up and you regret it. I don't think this was a like spur of the moment. I think she planned to do this.
And also,
and
absolutely,
she's
she planned to
clearly,
do
like,
it.
Not taking it down.
Did she plan it or did someone else?
Well, here's the funny thing too, right? We're in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and we're talking about it. So you know what? It worked.
Right.
Yeah, and you don't need a lot of votes.
It fucking worked.
You don't need a lot of votes in Rhode Island.
Yeah, and you're running for state senator.
Right.
So we're talking about it here. I don't even know the state senators in Pennsylvania. You know why? Because they haven't twerked on camera. So just remember that. Everybody who's listening to twerk on camera will know who you are.
You should know this. You should know some of the state senators. From
I
Pennsylvania.
don't know one.
Why don't you know them?
Because who cares?
Well, because some of them went to the fucking insurrection on the 6th.
Yeah, but
like you should know that shit.
The only time to care is when they're up for re-election. Otherwise, what are you going to do? Complain about it?
No.
Oh, that guy sucks. Okay,
you
remind me in 2 years when he's up for re-election.
Okay.
I won't vote for him or her. I don't know. I don't want to be sexist.
So wait, but this kind of got me to how we like care too much on like, in order to vote for somebody, you gotta like them. You gotta know some stuff about them, right?
Of course, it's a popularity contest,
right? Like then we start judging, and I'll hear people, "Oh, I voted for him because he's a good family man. She's a good, she reminds me, she's a great wife." I'm like,
these
you
got these are the same people that think that Dr. House is a real doctor, right? They're like, he's a great doctor. I would take my son or daughter to him. Like, dude, you're basing your voting off what you see on commercials. He's a good family man because he took a picture of his family, and then you get upset when you're like, he sleeps with hookers.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
I don't even know what the hell you guys are talking about.
All right, so do you not agree that when you vote for people, right, most people tend to vote for like personality traits? They don't vote that they're actually good.
No, I get that point. It was the whole tangent on Dr. House.
So
I don't even know.
We're saying we put him on pedestals.
If you do that, if you're voting for something like a personality trait, when that personality trait no longer matches up, then you're willing to rip them out of like the position they're in based off of like, but what if they're good at the job?
Yeah, like who cares?
Like, right, but I put you at this job because you were a good family man. Now that I find out you sleep with hookers, now I'm gonna rip you out of the job. What if I don't actually care that you sleep with hookers? Just be good at the job.
I mean, the religious right voted for Trump, and he came out and admitted he grabbed women in the pussy. So I mean, people.
It's true.
People vote politics, man, and they vote politics, and they vote for people that Fox News or other people up tell them to vote for.
It's just crazy.
I don't think people vote for. I don't know, man. I don't think people vote personality. I think people vote for
people. But here's what I'll say: people look
like
at
I voted for Hillary Clinton. I hate her personality.
Me too. That's
You know, I completely hate her
know that about
personality.
you, and I know.
Well, who was the other?
did I.
Who was the other option?
Fucking Bernie Sanders.
Was he even on the ticket at that point?
No, well, probably not because they
What?
rigged the fucking election.
Oh, here we go. All right, episode 5. Dave.
You don't even know.
Dave lays out his case for
You
the
don't
rigged
know.
election of 2020.
You don't know that they pulled all the money out of his campaign and gave it to Hillary, and people lost their jobs because of it. Right? You know that, right?
No,
And the DNC openly admitted that they just did it because they didn't want.
because
Bernie
they
to
thought
be-
Hillary could be, because they knew Bernie couldn't beat Trump, and they thought Hillary could.
How'd that go?
Well, I'm not saying the DNC's. I'm not saying the DNC
It
made a great
seems
decision.
Like they made the right choice.
But
Seems like they.
that's why they did it.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
Because they knew they didn't. The last thing the country needed was Trump getting elected. They're like,
anyway.
Sanders is too radical, so half the people aren't going to vote for him. So let's throw Hillary Clinton in there.
Yeah, and that worked out very well.
Well, I
Here
mean,
we
well.
are. So I'm glad.
Hey
they
man,
lost their jobs.
if they could all predict the future again,
Right.
we wouldn't be.
2020.
We would live in Vegas. So
But
I ain't gonna hold you though. I didn't think anybody was gonna fucking lose to Trump. Like I I said that wrong. I didn't think like Trump was going to
win.
win,
Yeah.
regardless of who was on the other side. And
But-
I think I overestimated
a lot of people
how
didn't.
much our country really is not ready for certain things. Like
I
think
knew
it was
he
a lot of
was
men
gonna
that
win.
was like,
I knew he was gonna win.
Fuck that.
I had a party
voting
at my
for it.
house, and he won, and I knew it.
Okay. You voted for Sanders. Okay.
Not true.
You voted for Trump.
I voted for Sanders until they told me I wasn't allowed to. So then I voted for Trump because fuck the Democrats for that
I was
election.
about to say, I already knew who he voted for.
So you voted for Trump because fuck the Democrats.
Yes.
That was your motto.
Yes.
So you started this discussion by saying people vote personality, which is exactly what he didn't do, right?
True.
So again, I think
I voted because
I disagree with
took-
your take.
Yeah.
Is the global
Okay.
settlement here?
Yeah.
I disagree strongly with your take.
I really, and my point was a little bit different.
They vote- they
I'm
vote-
sick of people holding politicians up on pedestals and they vote for. They look at them like they're infallible, right? And then as soon as they're like,
People
wait,
look at Trump like that. Trump's voters
No,
look
you're
at him
not.
like
I
he's
mean,
a
but
demigod.
you know what? Everybody looks at politicians like they're perfect, right? We all assume they're perfect,
Wrong.
until they're not. No,
Not
you
we all.
you say wrong because you're smart enough to know that they're
Right.
just humans.
That's right.
That live their
That's
life.
that's the part that I
People
hate
are-
about you is that you assume your assumption is the majority, and you're not. You're
No,
actually
you're just
like you're
you're the minority.
the
Who-
minority.
Because here's
Because
what I
you're
know.
very well
you know that people
Mm-hmm.
are appalled when they see certain stupid shit, right? Like, oh my God, he cheated on his wife, or she cheated on her husband.
I know some people are.
Correct. That's all I'm saying, right?
Right.
That view to me is insane. Like we don't know that people, and then we assume that means they can't be mayor or governor. You know what I mean? Like that part is insane. If you're good at the job, you didn't do something illegal. I don't care what you did. Even if you did something illegal, I don't care. But I know you're not going to be there, and that has nothing to do with me.
Right.
Right?
Okay. Then how do you justify like the 8-year
Do
Clinton?
you agree with that? That
if
some
you're good
people
at the
do
job, you should keep the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with that. Clinton kept his job.
that. Yeah, good for him.
He was fucking chicks all over the Oval Office. He kept his job. Right? So I'm saying it like there's
think
always
I-
going to be a counterpoint.
See,
Like
the difference between you and I, though, I wasn't old enough to vote when Clinton was in office, and you were like 30 already. So, like,
35. Yeah, I already had like 3 kids. I had 3 kids, a mortgage.
so all I
Yeah.
got to do was live my early years through the Clinton presidency. I was like 7.
Okay.
All right, man. So, and I really liked Bill Clinton. I don't
So
care
did
what he
I.
was
I thought he was a great president.
but that's
was-
all I was saying. Him and I we had a little different points. But yeah, I don't know.
Where did this one start? I forgot where we started on this one.
Oh, we were
Oh,
talking
we were-
about.
Oh, how people vote.
we
like
were-
what?
Yeah,
But we were talking about
Yeah.
Tiera Mack.
Yeah, we're talking.
Oh
about
yeah.
the woman shaking her ass,
And as if it should matter.
and right. That was my thing. And I
Look,
was like,
if she gets elected, go with God.
right, that's what I told my friend. I was like, dog,
I'll write her a letter and say
I
congratulations.
think that's the only thing you could say is like it's too early to see if this joint worked or not. Like if she gets elected, great, and it's already got like 70,000 views. So like in my opinion, it kind of worked.
Yeah, she didn't. It's insane.
Like it
It's just-
actually kind of worked.
Here's
So,
what I'll
like,
say. I'm happy that she decided not to make, a negative campaign ad. Like, Donald Trump
Right.
did something 4 years ago. Like, no one cares.
Those don't turn me
Talk
off
about
now,
yourself.
right,
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Let me figure out.
If you want to twerk on camera, make sure that you just have political ideas on the side. Like, I don't.
In case you get asked about.
Yeah,
it.
like, I don't. No one cares.
Right.
At some point, someone's going to want to know
Yeah,
like,
like,
where you stand
do you have
on
an economic
social
policy?
issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, like rather than just you can
Where do
shake your ass on
stand
the
when you're
beach.
upright?
Yeah, like, who cares? Who cares?
You guys remember when the video came out of AOC of Ocasio-Cortez like dancing? You guys remember that?
Sort of.
Like she was on a rooftop and it was like a 12-second video of her just like twirling and dancing like when she was in
yeah.
college.
Yeah.
Do you remember how ape shit the right went about that video?
Yeah.
Imagine what they're gonna like. Can you?
Well, that's-
and that was her fully clothed, and that's just because they hate. I mean, they hate her.
right. They do.
I mean,
But like,
you-
think what they're gonna do with this bitch.
But you
like,
brought up a good point.
They went
which I think is
fucking nuts.
completely valid, right? It may, but
It's gonna get her a ton of.
you brought
Negative.
that point up, so I don't want.
Right.
I don't want to take it from you, but I mean, it's valid. I mean, there's people that are actively going to go out and vote against her now,
Yeah.
right? Because they're just going to be pissed, and you
Yeah.
can't underestimate the power of that.
Nope.
Right?
No, but that's
Which everyone
that's-
learned in 2020
True.
when Trump got elected.
But that's what,
Don't underestimate these people.
exactly, and that's what, in my opinion, got you to go from Bernie to flip sides. It really,
Yeah, it was easy for
fucked
me.
it
I
was
don't care.
But it was
Hey.
the anger of like, no,
I
you
was
don't get
like-
to take my vote away. I'll give it to.
Yeah, I was
this
like, I'm going to give it to
person
the only
over here.
person that I know you don't want to win, right? You
Right.
took away the only person.
So you voted out of
He
spite.
voted out of spite.
You voted out of spite.
Right.
And I got exactly what I wanted.
You did.
You guys, you did it to this country, not me. I had a perfectly normal candidate who had some crazy ideas.
So you voted for him, but he and I did it.
Absolutely. I don't blame me at all.
Okay.
See,
You guys are fucking crazy. Like,
All right.
Bernie was completely fine. Everybody says, we had crazy ideas. I guess everyone forgets that he would have said those crazy ideas to people, and they said, well, we're not voting for that shit, right? And then none of those crazy ideas would have happened. We would have had some good ideas, and we wouldn't have had Trump. But then you were like, you can't vote for him. I run this. So then I was like, cool.
If Bernie won the primary, I would have voted for Bernie.
We didn't even get to fucking vote for him. He was like neck and neck with her.
Okay. We'd have to go back. And I'll have to go back and check on that.
The difference between Josh
Russian-
and I don't have to go back. They're an oligarchy, and what I'm talking about is true.
So when you Wikipedia Russia,
he's so firm in his takes, though.
when you
getting older,
Wikipedia,
guys.
when you Wikipedia Russia, it's gonna come up that it's an oligarchy.
Absolutely.
Okay, I don't think that's a form of government. I think that's just rich people running. I don't think that's like a recognized form of government.
Oh my god. I'm
Maybe-
embarrassed.
maybe
I'm embarrassed for you on this
I haven't had
podcast.
social studies in a while. But
I know.
It has been a few decades.
it's been a few decades. Yes, it has.
Well, I think we're getting close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this shit up.
What do you think? Hold on, real
Wait,
quick.
let's give.
something real. Oh, go ahead.
Let me just
Never
give.
mind.
I want to give you guys and anybody that's listening out this a homework assignment. If you have HBO or the ability to watch HBO Max, you have to watch We Own This City. It was
Oh, yeah, you were telling
written and produced by David Simon, who did The Wire, which in my money is the best television show ever created. And it's only 6 episodes, so it's not a huge, it's not like you have to devote a ton of time to it. You can knock it out in a week, but it's absolutely phenomenal. And it's a true story based on, a corrupt organization, a corrupt wing of the Baltimore City Police Department and what they were doing.
Right up our
and
alley.
Everybody came in.
That's why I wanna watch it. I haven't seen
Which would be phenomenal talking points for us.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
For me, because I worked there and I was in that environment, and I think for our audience as well. But again, the lead character John Bernthal, everybody you'll know him right when you see him.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He was in Wolf of Wall Street. He played Tony Soprano's dad in Many Saints. He's been in a ton of shit recently, but he's a phenomenal as the lead, like the corrupt guy in the city police department. Watch the show. We Own This City. It's on HBO. 6 episodes, and then we'll talk about it.
And
at
I
some
got
point.
something real late because it's just I want to talk about it anyway because we were talking about it in the movie. Where, first of all, where's Kevin Durant gone? And second, I think we won the trade, right?
Yeah, we
I
definitely
think,
did.
Like you send Ben Simmons to the Nets and then the whole team explodes.
And then his back is broke, and then he has
yeah, my
surgery.
back's broke, spinal. You know.
Did Kyrie leave?
Well,
No,
they're both looking. They're looking.
Kev
for,
asked for a trade.
Yeah, he opted in, but he's also like the Lakers want him, so I think he's
but
gonna
once-
leave.
Once Kev is gone, the Nets have.
But I
really
saw
no-
something amazing, right? Because they traded, and I'm not going to know the specifics. Maybe you saw it or you saw it. I don't know. But they can't trade Kevin Durant to certain teams because of Ben Simmons, because of something that he has in his rookie extension contract, maybe. So, like, I don't know what it is, right? But I saw it. So, like, the Heat is one of them, right? The teams that
That Durant cannot go to?
unless they trade Ben Simmons as a package with him, which is fucking hilarious, right? So, like, everybody was talking about the Suns and the Heat, right? And they were saying in order for this to work, they have to trade Ben Simmons as well. And I think it has something to do with the rookies. So, like, I think they have to swap out, like, Tyler Hero, right? Or somebody else, right? And Devin Booker can't even be, like, part of the trade. No. I saw something where Devin Booker can't even be part of the trade. So, like, he's not going to the Suns because, like, if they don't get Devin Booker back, who are they going to get? Nobody.
I'm not even ready to play the.
Where's he going?
Well, I was about to
We'll
say,
end it on this.
I'm not
Where do you
gonna-
think he's going?
I'm not gonna like play, cut out one at a time because that would take too long.
Do you think he's going anywhere?
Yes.
Okay.
Durant?
Do you think he's going anywhere?
Yeah, I mean, he's already said he's not going to play for him, right?
Right. And
so,
the NBA, if you're that good, once you say you want out, they have no choice because if you just sit, they're screwed anyway.
Yeah, well, then
yeah, because it's not like the NFL where if you sit, you don't get paid.
Right.
I mean,
Ben
like,
Simmons literally just did that.
that's
and
the
he
Ben.
is nowhere near.
Ben Simmons
Kevin
is the
Durant.
master of getting paid not to play.
So Kevin will go somewhere, and I'm gonna say he's gonna go back to Golden State.
Wow. Who? But they.
can they? They can't. They can't.
I guess they.
can't pay him.
I guess they
Wait,
could though. No.
Is there a salary cap in the NBA? There isn't, right?
Yeah,
there is.
There is?
salary cap, but it's extremely high. But
Yeah.
they have young talent. They can give a Wiggins.
Yeah, exactly. And you plug him back in, and you've got the next.
I mean, you could
2
get rid of
years
Wiggins. They have what's the other guy too? That's awesome. They have Kuminga.
Yeah, you can get rid of everybody else that's not.
You can
Steph
get rid of
Curry
all
and
those guys.
Draymond, and you're right back.
And you put him right back.
That's just a
You
shot
think he's
in the
going to
dark.
Golden State?
Shot in the dark.
I saw.
I'll
I
say
mean,
Golden State.
I think it sounds more possible, but I don't know why he'd want to go there. But Toronto, they want Scotty Barnes really bad.
I thought none of the NBA guys wanted to play in Toronto because of the
Well, that's what I
because
said.
of the taxes.
He kind of
and
has
stuff.
a say, though. You know, that's the crazy thing.
Who?
Toronto's never going to have superstars, and they're never going to have people that make that much money because of the
It's a good point.
because of the taxes.
Yes,
They won't go play there.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I don't know. Here's the deal. I'm hoping wherever he goes, they have to take Ben Simmons. That's all. I hope that Kevin Durant single-handedly puts that on someone else.
I don't know that Simmons is going to play in the league ever again.
He
honestly.
deleted. I mean,
Really?
he deleted his Instagram account once Kevin
I think he
said
might
I
just-
wanted to trade. So he deleted his Instagram account,
I think
which
he might
means he's
just walk
crying
away.
again.
Or just go back to Australia, play in the Australian league.
It's beautiful. Sixers got rid of him, blew up a team. We won the trade.
Yeah,
And
we
on that
we definitely did win that one. I'll keep James. So until next time,
Yeah,
y'all.
like,
All right.
subscribe, and Josh won't be a guest next time. He'll be a regular.
Watch the show.
Got a team that they do this all day. George for Breonna Taylor was amongst us. We fight to shine light, so bright to fight injustice. The ping is big and small, we want them all, please confront us. Questions on the law, JJ, who you call? Come and get your justice. Fight, fight, fight.